Well, the important thing is I want you to get the business funding you need, right? That's what I care about. So in today's conversation, I want to share with you the top 10 business lines of credit for fair credit that grant you a large limit super fast and easy. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation because even new LLCs are welcome. So if you have a startup, you may find the funding you need through a business line of credit. So don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Study Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the top 10 business lines of credit for fair credit that grant you large limits super fast and easy. And we are talking about new LLCs also being welcome into this whole program. Number 10, we have Lendio. Our score, 7.5 over 10. So when we think about Lendio, I want you to think about an online small business loan aggregator. So they're not a direct lender. They're a platform whereby you have from 75 to 100 lenders that actually vie for your business. So this is really good because you don't have to sit around and just apply for one lender, right? So you just apply through one single platform and your application gets dispatched to, as I will say, a constellation of lenders. So here are the pros and cons of this Lendio. So you get your money in a very fast, sometimes within 24 hours. Okay, low minimum credit score required. So those are the pros in our view, the main pros. And the main cons, they can charge prepayment penalties depending on the lender that you have. And there are some restrictions for businesses under 3 months. Okay, now you want to choose Lendio because again, it is not a direct lender, but it is a platform that gets you access to more than 75 to 100 lenders. So this is really good. The loan application process is very fast. Okay, you actually fill out a brief questionnaire. Okay, you enter your name, business information, all that kind of stuff, and your info is sent to those lenders. Okay, now there are some costs that you need to think about. The repayment terms can actually go all the way to 25 years, but the APRs can also be high. So again, we are talking about a variety of lenders. So the terms and conditions of the line of credit happen at the lender's level. Okay. Number 9, we have Smart Biz. Our score, 7.8 over 10. So when you think about Smart Biz, you want to think about a direct lender, but they use, what we love is they use artificial intelligence to actually sift through loan applications. Okay. And the cool thing is they actually cater to all kinds of businesses, established businesses, startups, and whatnot. Yeah, everything is good. So what are the pros and cons here? Pros, they speed up the SBA loan process. So in today's conversation, we're talking about business line of credit, but they also do other stuff, and they offer competitive rates on all their loans. Their cons, they have strict financial requirements. Okay. And so overall, when you think about Smart Biz, I want you to think about a player that actually grants you a constellation of business loans, not just business lines of credit. The application process is pretty fast. Okay, they actually enable you to pre-qualify, so you can actually preserve your FICO score, and you just enter a couple of data, and they will let you know if you pre-qualify and how much you pre-qualify for. And Smart Biz is pretty safe. Okay, they've been in the business for a while. They're pretty safe, and your data is safe with them. And if you need more information, just call them at 1-866-283-8726. 1-866-283-8726. Number 8, we have here Fundera. Our score, 8 over 10. Well, the cool thing about Fundera is that they're not a direct lender. Okay, Fundera works as they help you get the funding you need. Okay, so you actually apply with them, and they will work with they'll look at your loan application, and they'll get you the business line of credit that you need. Okay, what are the pros and cons here? The pros, they sync with popular bookkeeping software like Xero and QuickBooks, and they do have an eligibility tracker that we love. Okay, and the cons here is that there may be additional fees depending on the lender, and there are fewer lenders to select from compared to competitors. Okay, so Fundera has a smaller pool of lenders, but you know what? The quality is there though. I mean, you have a smaller pool, but top quality. Okay, so Fundera, if you think about Fundera at a glance, they act more like I would say a loan consultant or a loan advisor to you. Okay, they help you out get the loan that you need, the line of credit that you need. Okay, so the application process is very fast with them too. I mean, you know, you go to fundera.com, you apply, you provide some basic information about your business, such as average sale, annual revenue, and all that kind of stuff, and you click complete. So someone will get back to you, and you can borrow from 10,000 to 1 million. It depends on the strength of your business loan application or line of credit application. So it's all possible. Number 7, we have here Big Think Capital. Our score 8.5 over 10. When you think about a big Think Capital, I want you to think about a direct lender. And what we love is that they have two options. They have a network of lenders, but they also loan funds to businesses on a case-by-case basis. So you have this hybrid structure, okay? And here are the pros and cons. Pros, you can receive offers from multiple lenders. You can get your funds in as little as 24 hours. No credit report needed, okay? And the cons, they require at least 1 year in business, and they have a high monthly revenue of $15,000 minimum. Now, this changes based on the state you're applying from, but this is what it is. So here is an overview. So when you think about Big Think Capital, I want you to think about a financial services marketplace, okay, where you can find a great rate for your business line of credit or business loan. Okay, so they actually also tap into a pool of lenders to give you the line of credit that you need. Okay, so besides beyond business line of credit, they also offer equipment financing, invoice financing, MCAs, SBA loans, short-term loans, and whatnot. Okay, and so the application process is very simple. Also, you just have to enter all your info, basic info, and it takes about 5 minutes. And then someone will get back to you. Okay, the platform is very safe, very, very safe, and they've been doing this for a while now too. So number 6, we have here Funded. Our score 8.7 over 10. When you think about Funded, I want you to think about an online investment platform, okay, that helps you get the financing that you need for your business line of credit, business loan. Okay, and what we love here is that the pros and cons when you think about this line of credit: no hard credit check, it's free to use, and no minimum credit score. Okay, those are the pros. What about the cons? Well, you need to create a profile to get rates. That's how they get your data anyway, okay? And they do have a limited customer service based on our analysis. So when you think about Funded in general, here's the overview. I want you to think about a platform where you can get rates for a business loan or a business line of credit within minutes. Okay, so they actually provide a constellation of business financing products also, which is really good. They can fund you up to $5 million, okay, from $10,000 to $5 million. So this is really great. And what we love is that the application process is very personalized, okay, and very fast also, but they can actually assign someone to you to kind of help you out. So this is really good. And in terms of, so they are also open to new LLCs as well as established businesses. Not a problem. Okay, so overall, when you think about funding, I want you to think about a solid player. The only thing is they need to beef up their customer service. That's what it is. Number 5, we have here Bluevine. Our score 8.8 over 10. So when you think about Bluevine, you think about an established player. They've been doing this for a while now, and they're pretty solid. Okay, they provide fast financing solutions for small businesses in need of working capital. Okay, and you can actually borrow up to $250,000 through Bluevine. So that's really cool. That's really good. We love the fact that they have fewer fees, short terms, and automatic payment options. Okay. And what are the pros and cons here? You have a quick online application process. You pay only for what you use, which is actually the concept of business line of credit. And the cons is that the repayment terms are pretty short. You are looking at 6 months or 12 months, okay? And the ACH transfers are free, but wire transfers incur an extra fee. So why should you choose Blue Vine? Well, they do a lot of stuff: business line of credit, invoice factoring. Okay, and the thing is, they offer, what do they offer? A 5-minute online application, approval and funding within 24 hours, which is really good. Okay, credit lines up to 5 million for invoice factoring, credit lines up to $250,000 for lines of credit. In some places in the country, they do not offer invoice factoring anymore. Okay, and so this is what it is. And so what's really unique about the Blue Vine is that they actually they are an alternative to banks and other institutions. Okay, they're a fintech company, so they're really fast, and they use technology properly to actually get you the line of credit and loans that you need. Fantastic. Number 4, we have here LendingTree. Our score 9/10. When you think about LendingTree, I want you to think about a platform. This is not a direct lender. Okay, actually, you have to enter your, once you enter your info, whatever, they will help you compare and contrast several business loan providers. Okay, and they will show you different options, and they will also give you a wide constellation of credit and financing options. And so what are the pros and cons here for LendingTree? Well, pros, you have a wide range of loan options. Customers match with up to 4 financing options. Okay, what about the cons? The rates on the site are not guaranteed, and the FAQ section is difficult to navigate. Okay, that's the thing they have to actually work on. But overall, when you think about LendingTree, I want you to think about several loan types. They have small business loans, lines of credit, merchant cash advances. They have equipment financing. They do receivables financing. Okay, the loan amount, the line of credit amount can go all the way to $500,000. In some cases, 1 million. Okay, and the thing here is that it is the marketplace. Okay, this is not a direct lender, it is a marketplace, and the loan features are kind of cool. You can get up to $1 million in financing. You have access, so if your business line of credit application is not accepted, you can actually find something else. You can find you can apply for a business loan or a merchant cash advance. The choice is yours. Okay, this is a marketplace. There are a lot of players, a lot of lenders that are there to help you out. Okay, to work with you. What about the loan features that you need to think about? Well, what we love is that they have an extensive educational center full of helpful resources. What I'm trying to say is, in addition to the lenders they also have a lot of resources for you. Okay, repayment terms can go all the way to 50 years, depending on the loan. Remember, they also provide SBA loans. Okay. Number 3, we have here OnDeck. Our score 9.2/10. When you think about OnDeck, you are thinking about a direct lender. Okay, they provide small business loans and lines of credit. And what we love with OnDeck is that here are the pros and cons. You get your money within 1 day, 24 hours. Low minimum credit score requirements. Okay, now what about the cons? They require a business lien and personal guarantee in some cases, and they want you to have $100,000 in annual revenue. Okay, that's for gross revenue though. But when you think about OnDeck, the overview, the takeaway I want you to take from this, the takeaway I want you to have from this is that OnDeck is a small business lender that offers term loans and business lines of credit. Okay, you can borrow up to $250,000, and you can set up a line of credit up to $100,000. Okay, and the cool thing is that the application process is very fast. You can apply online or over the phone. It's totally up to you. Okay, and the repayment terms are pretty flexible too. You can actually, they offer terms from 3 to 18 months for their loans, and but for the line of credit, you can have it open for 5 years. Okay, not a problem. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Finest, young Mr. Killer, and call me señorita. I papi got me dreaming, my legs up on the ceiling. Oh yeah. I know when he come, he ain't never gonna leave. No, hit it the night run, and that's the way I wanna be. So don't think I'm the one to won't ever be enough.
Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Story Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you today about the top 10 business lines of credit for fair credit that grants you very generous amounts. Okay, and we want to talk now about Biz to Credit. Number 2, Biz to Credit. Our score 9.5/10. So when you think about Biz to Credit, you are thinking about a small business loan funding provider that connects you with term loans, commercial real estate loans, business line of credit. Okay, the cool thing about here are the pros and cons. You get approved within 24 hours. They have financing for new businesses that's available, and they have excellent customer support. Okay, what about the cons? Well, they sometimes have higher revenue requirements depending on the state you're applying from, and the origination and factor fees also make the whole thing not interesting. But overall, Business Credit is a solid player. Okay, now let me give you an overview here. When you think about Business Credit, I want you to think about a lender who has been in business for a while. Okay, you can borrow up to $250,000 from them, and they know exactly. They adapt to your industry, to all kinds of industries. By the way, the application process is really fast. Okay, it takes less than 5 minutes to complete. Okay, and we tried it. It's really good, and the repayment terms are also flexible. The only thing is they are shorter though. You're looking at 12 to 36 months. So something to really think about. Number one, the best of the best in our view when it comes to the top 10 business line of credit for fair credit that grants you generous loan amounts or line amounts. You're talking about Cabbage. Our score 9.7 over 10. Now, Cabbage is part of American Express. It is a subsidiary of American Express, and they offer lines of credit to businesses that need help covering expenses. Okay, so once you're approved as a borrower, you have access to funds and you can draw on the approved amount at will. Totally up to you. Okay, and here are the pros and cons. Pros: no prepayment penalties, and you have a range of repayment options, no hidden fees. Okay, now the cons: interest rates tend to be high. One thing I want to tell you here is that Cabbage used to be a standalone company, but they kind of got in trouble with the COVID thing. They didn't have enough liquidity, so they got bought over by American Express. So now they are run differently, and their fees are kind of high. But what do they offer really? They offer lines of credit up to $150,000. Okay, loan terms and fees 2 to 9% for 6 months loans, 4.5 to 18% for 12-month loans, 6.75% to 27% for 18 months loans and lines of credit. Okay, something you need to think about. Now, the minimum qualification, they want you to have monthly revenue of at least $3,000, and you must have a credit score that oscillates from 600 to 640. Okay, so this is really something you need to think about. But overall, this is a solid player. Let me just talk. I want to talk a little bit about. I want to give an overview about what we're talking about here. So, there are things you need to know about business lines of credit, especially when you have fair credit. Okay, you need to understand that you use those lines of credit when your company needs cash to cover impending expenses. Okay, so you don't have time to. Let's say you having some liquidity problems. Okay, I mean, you are making sales, you're making revenue, but your customers are a little late to pay you. Okay, and you can use lines of credit to kind of take care of the temporary chasm in liquidity. Okay, remember that lines of credit is a set amount of money that you can borrow against. You have the flexibility to borrow as much as you need at any time, and you have monthly payments that are calculated based on how much you borrowed. Okay, and the cool thing is, I mean, depending on the lender, you might have to pay a draw fee though, because if you are borrowing against the credit line, they might charge you a draw fee. Okay, and when should you use a line of credit? Well, if you require a short-term boost in working capital, if you are unable to meet a payroll deadline, you have inventory needs that need to be increased or replenished, those things happen, right? Or let's say you need to cover expenses associated with hiring new employees, and marketing efforts need to be increased in anticipation of a special event. I mean, a lot of stuff happen, where you are finding yourself with a temporary liquidity chasm, liquidity gap, and you need to fill that. And to fill that, you don't have the cash, you can't you can't withdraw money from your credit card, from your business credit card. So that's when you use the business line of credit. Okay, and the thing here is that a business line of credit has several benefits. It provides short-term funding real fast, real quick, because you only apply once, but the fund is there. You can tap into it whenever you want. The second thing is that, so you have speed, you have convenience. In other words, you have the cash there, so okay, if something happens, at least I have the cash there. I don't have to scramble. I don't have to walk around, barnstorm the offices of lenders and asking them to give me money. No. And the third thing is you can actually implement your vision. See, when you know you have funding, when you know that you have access to funding, you can actually implement your business plan a lot more properly, if you will, a lot properly. You can actually execute your strategy. Okay, so this is really good. Let me give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. It's really important when you think about business lines of credit for fair credit that grants you generous amounts, you need to think about the best way to choose the right provider for your business. It's important because you're probably in a state right now, or you're in an industry where your needs are different. So you can't just walk around and just choose any lender for that matter. You have to do some due diligence. You have to do some analysis, some digging to make sure that this lender, because think about it, you are bringing business to that lender. Okay, if they lend to you, you are bringing them business. Okay, so because of that, you matter. Your business matters in this case. So it's important. So it's important that you pay attention to the reputation of the lender before you choose the right provider. Before you apply for a business line of credit, make sure that the lender has a strong reputation. Now, all the 10 players that we have actually talked to you today about, they have stellar reputation. Okay, you want to ask them about their minimum credit requirements. This is important also because we said fair credit, right? So you got to be, so if you have bad credit, you want to inquire to make sure you can qualify, because you just don't want to apply and realize, hey, I don't qualify for this. You also need to learn about their funding amounts. Okay, what about the limits? When we talk about business line of credit, so they give you a credit limit. Let's say you have a limit of $150,000. You can't go beyond that, right? But it's important for you to know beforehand that, hey, listen, here is a limit I have to play with. Okay, so this helps you in your liquidity strategies. It helps you actually set up the right strategy for your business. Okay, you also want to think about the funding speed. Not all players, not all lenders will actually give you the cash you need within 24 hours. Some lenders are lethargic, quote unquote lethargic. They're very slow, and they might take a week or whatever, because they have to. It's not just about you though. It's not just about like your business or your personal credit. Those lenders are just slow. That's just what it is. Okay, and to actually prevent that, you want to do some research to make sure that you are comfortable with the funding speed the lender has. Also think about APRs and fees. Okay, also that's important. So there are some mistakes that you need to avoid with a line of credit. Don't wait until the last minute to apply. Don't compare rates, terms, and qualification requirements between lenders. You have to. Don't ignore that. Okay, don't miss out on potential upgrades after improving your credit score. Okay, ask the lender reserves that you need to have to call the loan or line of credit, and never max out your credit line. Before I actually do a recap here, I just want you to quickly watch this short video about our loan evaluation approach. We have a strict method on this show when it comes to categorizing, listing, and evaluating business loans and lines of credit. Check this out. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about the top 10 business line of credit for fair credit that grants you generous limits, okay, and they welcome new LLCs, also startups. Number 1, we have Cabbage, 9.7 over 10. Number 2, we have here Biz to Credit, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have OnDeck, 9.2 over 10. Number 4, we have Lending Tree, 9 over 10. Number 5, we have a Blue Vine, 8.8 over 10. Number 6 rather, we have 8.7 over 10 that's funded. Number 7, we have Big Think Capital, 8.5 over 10. Number 8, we have Fundera, 8 over 10. Number 9, we have Smart Biz, 7.8 over 10. Number 10, we have Lendio, 7.5 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.